Gloucester Township Mayor Dave Mayer, here with another episode of our Gloucester Township Small Business Assistance Program educational series. And joining us today, we're fortunate to have Assemblyman Paul Moriarty, who represents Gloucester Township in Trenton, and is also the chairman of the Consumer Affairs Committee. Assemblyman, first, thanks for joining us today. And I want to say a big thank you to you for all the efforts that you've helped Gloucester Township over the years, but more importantly, through the pandemic, keeping in touch with us, helping our community get through certainly that challenging time. So thank you for those efforts. And again, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to join you today. And I thank you for your leadership in Gloucester Township. And I know we're talking about small businesses and helping them today. And I know you and the township have been doing extraordinary things, not only to help the businesses that are there, but also to reach out and bring new businesses into the town. You've done a great job and are transforming that township. And so I congratulate you and council as well.
Well, thanks. It's a great team effort. So really appreciate your efforts as well. We started this assistance program several months ago, and to date, we've been able to give out $365,000 to small businesses here in Gloucester Township. It's not a loan, it's a direct grant. And as you know, small businesses, everyone has been affected by the pandemic, and certainly small businesses play a big role in our community. And I know you've been working on a variety of different state efforts, and maybe you can describe some of those programs that the state of New Jersey has to help small businesses.
Sure, I'd be happy to. You know, the state also understands that this has been a very difficult time for small businesses, especially to keep the doors open and to continue to thrive as they were before the pandemic. So there are many programs that are helpful to small businesses to go towards expanding or buying and getting new furniture, upgrading their facilities, and some of them I'd like to talk about today, if I may. Most of them are through the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, and I would recommend any of the people that are interested that are watching this today should check them out at the website njeda.com. That's njeda.com. There are many programs to help people. And I could talk about a few of them that I think have been successful and have given out millions and millions of dollars to help small businesses throughout the pandemic and onward as we move forward in the recovery. For example, there's one, it's called the Small Business Lease Grant. And this supports the growth and success of small businesses. It's funded through the Main Recovery Finance Program. And to be eligible, you should check out the njeda.com website, but eligible small businesses are able to get grants just by making their space larger by 250 square feet. So if you wanted to expand your footprint just by 250 square feet, which is very small, and have a new or amended lease for that extra 250 square feet, you could be awarded 2 different grants that total 20% of your annual lease payment. So, for example, let's say you had an annual lease of $100,000. That's a lot of money, but let's say it was a $100,000 annual lease. You could get up to $40,000 towards your lease payment through this small business lease grant. The first payment would come after you execute your lease with the extra 250 or more square feet larger than the prior space. And the second one would be after 12 months of lease payments, demonstrating that you're actually paying the lease for a year. And applicants have to commit to that location for a period of about 5 years. I should say at least 5 years. So let's just say you own something in a strip mall, a small store, and you want to expand and take over some of the space in the empty space next to you because you want to grow your business, you want to expand your business. Well, the state of New Jersey can help you with up to 40% on that first year lease, 20% up front, 20% after 12 months. That's a real incentive to expand your business. That's a real help to small businesses that are trying to thrive in this current economic situation.
Well, Assemblyman, that sounds great. Helping businesses expand and thrive. So thank you for that. Is there anything currently out there to help improve businesses if they're not looking to lease more space?
There are several, but let me just speak about this one. It's called the Small Business Improvement Grant. It's also through the NJEDA. The requirements for that, it provides reimbursement for costs associated with building improvements or purchasing new furniture or equipment, and up to 50% of those project costs. Maximum grant, $50,000. The project cost must be at least $5,000. So at least $5,000 minimum, maximum $50,000. And you must stay in the location for at least 2 years for the grants to be up to $25,000. If greater than $25,000, you have to stay for at least 4 years. And they're still accepting applications on a rolling basis. And this is, you could say I needed to buy new furniture. I needed to buy a new copying machine. This is to improve your business where you are. You're not exactly expanding your footprint and adding more space, but you are improving your business with new furniture and equipment so that you can do whatever it is that you do more efficiently.
So, Assemblyman, so it's not too late for a small business who may have made those purchases at around that time frame to continue to submit their this application?
That's correct.
Great.
So you can still submit that application. And again, I'm going to say the website a few times. It's njeda.com.
Well, Assemblyman, thanks for that. Is there anything that might be coming down the pike in the future to help small businesses that the state's contemplating?
There is. There's a new program that should be coming online very soon. You should continue to check the NJEDA website. It's called the Main Street Micro Business Loan. This is a loan, but it's for very small businesses, 10 or fewer employees and less than $1.5 million in annual revenues. The state will provide you with a loan of up to $50,000 with a 10-year term and only a 2% interest rate. And there will be no interest or payments required in the first year. So you could take a loan of $50,000 and pay nothing for that first year. And then after that, the interest rate is 2%. This money can be used for future operating expenses, including payroll, rent, mortgage, utilities, taxes, and inventory. It can also be used for the purchase of equipment as long as the installation and construction costs of that equipment do not exceed $2,000. So you could buy a new copying machine that just has to be wheeled in the front door. But if you bought some equipment that needed some installation costs that exceeded $2,000, you couldn't use that. But mainly it's to help with payroll, rent, mortgage, and utilities and inventory. That's up to $50,000, 10-year term, 2% interest, no interest or payments the first year. I think that's very helpful for very small businesses. As I said, 10 or fewer full-time employees and less than $1.5 million in annual revenue. That's called the Main Street Micro Business Loan.
Yeah, that's very important, Assemblyman, especially today when you see interest rates rising. This is a low interest loan that really can help small businesses stretch their money. So that's very, very helpful.
Yeah, and the Economic Development Authority has many other programs that I haven't listed here.
Right.
And they have things for small businesses that import or export goods. So they have things specifically for them. They have some programs for people that are trying to be more ecologically sensitive and they're going green. There's incentives. Well, and I urge any business to check out the njeda.com website, and you'll find a lot of interesting grants and programs that are designed to help businesses thrive and strive in this state.
Well, thank you, Assemblyman. They are fantastic programs. Really appreciate the hard work that you're putting in to help small businesses and the state assistance as well. And that's very meaningful. So really appreciate that. And thank you very much for joining us today.
My pleasure, Mayor. And I have a question for you now.
Sure.
How is your program going, helping small businesses in your town, and can businesses in your town still apply? Is there money left?
Yeah, thanks, Paul. Yes, there's still money available, and we're looking for qualified small businesses. So I encourage any business owner out there to inquire. Go to our website, glotwp.com, or call the mayor's office, and we'll be happy to assist you and walk you through the application process. It is a very simple application process, and the turnaround is fairly quick. So we have grants. Again, this is not a loan. These are grants for small businesses, $5,000, $7,000, and $10,000. So we would encourage any small business owner out there to please inquire and see if you qualify. But thanks for asking. Well, appreciate it. And again, thanks for your time today and for serving our Gloucester Township community.
My pleasure, Mayor. Hope to see you real soon.
Thank you.
Your social media and website are in sync. Hopefully you've been thinking about things or actually posting some things. Now it's time to refine your posting content and optimize that content for each outlet. There's a lot in this episode, but I think it's one of the most important ones to help you understand how it all works together. As you can imagine, each social outlet has an appropriate language all its own. So let's look at each one of them, and we'll go from there. For Facebook, use straightforward communication. Talk about what you were doing, connect with a 4-to-1 ratio of on-topic and social content. Use photos and video. Mention others, which means tag others in your posts. Never post with text only, and use Facebook's advertising as an advertising resource. We'll go over that in episode 5. Remember, Facebook followers like your page because they like what you do. They're your advocates. Use that to your benefit. From that list, most things are self-explanatory, but let me quickly mention tagging and tagging others because it's something you can do on all of the outlets when it's appropriate. To tag someone means that you've mentioned them and let them know it. Most times what you write can show up in their feed on their page, so only do it if it's something you're sure they'd want on their page, or even better, ask them. So how do you tag others? Simply put an @ symbol in front of their name or their company name. And if they allow tagging, they will show up under the option to be selected. Be sure you click the right person or business when you tag because there could be multiple options with the same name. So how does it help? Well, if you tag a person or business, or if your company gets tagged, a link to that business, which is tagged, will be available in the post, leading the reader to the place if they click on the tag. Think of it as cross-marketing. Don't force it. The best practice to tag is when it's appropriate and when you have the other user's consent. Now, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. Many social media outlets use hashtags to index content. On these outlets or one of these sites, your post should include hashtags. You can be on point with your messaging and think about using hashtags outside or around your brand. So what's a hashtag? The short answer is hashtag is a word or phrase with a number sign in front of it, or hashtag. For example, hashtag Microsoft or hashtag Apple. The main purpose of using the hashtag is to ensure that the conversation around the specific topic or word that has the hashtag on it can easily be tracked. Now, let's get into the weeds just a little bit. Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram users can easily use the hashtags as a marketing tool to track conversations about their business and get a good understanding of their popularity online. One of the best ways to create a buzz around your business with hashtags is to promote your business's products, community involvement, or special events. They are all great opportunities for others to share. You can use these to increase awareness to your business online. The global reach that Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram offers its users allows you to reach a wider audience and increase your exposure. Another benefit of using hashtags is being part of a current trending topic related to your business. Always remember to use the correct hashtag. Introducing your business to the hashtag trend will allow people to associate your brand and create awareness. Topical tags are usually the best way to go about this process, and this means that it has a more extensive reach in the overall market. Using hashtags is part of your message rather than just using them separately. It will be easier for readers to become informed about your business or what you're trying to say when they can read the context as a complete message. So include the hashtagging in the messaging. Finally, remember to track the hashtag's progress to see its effectiveness for your marketing goals. Various tools can help you do this online, but Twitter also can provide you with this information. It's a great way on measuring your reach on social media platforms, and it can help you keep an eye on conversations regarding your product, your business, or services. Here's an example of a text used in a post for Pizza King. Our message is simple, so I'll show it both ways. To us, they basically read the same. The hashtag doesn't distract from the message, but all of the hashtagged and tagged places or businesses with the @ symbol are now searchable. And if anyone wants to search those words on Google or a search engine, your post is more apt to come up in their search than if you don't use them. That helps with a single post, but it also helps your website become easier to find in search engines. Why? Because your website talks about what you do and has many of those words, and most importantly, your company has a tag on your website and across all of your social media outlets. Let's look at that post again and break it down a bit. These words are terms that people regularly search and all relate to your event. So this weekend, event, takeout, free, gift, fun, family, games, petting zoo, kids, they're just all words that people search quite a bit. Now we're going to drill down a little. And these are words that are regularly searched, all within your business type. These words are all local vendors from your area that have audiences that could potentially be your customers. And your post will show up on their social feeds. But it'll also show up in Google searches about that business when you're all tagged in it together. And finally, Pizza King NJ, that's you. All of your social sites and all of the indexable areas of your website have this information. So anytime people search that, all of your information will come up. And all of that helps your business get found, not only on the platform where you posted it, but all across the internet. Hopefully seeing the elements broken down helps to make the importance of using hashtags a little more obvious. For Facebook, hashtags and indexing work, but they haven't really been embraced by the users the way that they have been on other platforms. So on Facebook, use them sparingly, if at all. We suggest just using your company's hashtag as a signature at the end of a post. There's one other thing to consider when thinking about when and where to post, and that's the value of the posts. I could probably talk about this for an hour, but I won't bore you with that. I think that the most simplified way to put it is that each time you post, someone talks about you. Each time someone visits your social outlets or website, you get a point with Google. Now this is true for all search engines, but Google seems to be the word that we all use now. So those things happen, you get a point, and those points add up. Those points relate to where your website and social media outlets show up in non-paid Google searches. The more points you have, the higher your search. So the more fresh content you have, and the more engaged your content is by users, the more points you get. This is overly simplified, but I found it's an easy way to explain the basics of the process. Each outlet has its own strengths. Let's talk about how to write on each platform. Facebook is simple. It's our central hub and a connection to the community. We're driving customers there and will be for a while. While Facebook gives us lower SEO, it connects with our friends and our followers. So we use Facebook to talk about community events, roll out new info, become a resource for local news and happenings, tout our accomplishments like awards, news, new products, things that happen with your business in the community, along with promoting our other social outlets. So Facebook has a value of 1/4 of 1 point on a post for searchability. So for every time you post on Facebook, you get 1/4 of a Google point. Now remember, this is oversimplified, but you tend to get more shares on Facebook, so it tends to work out, but just so you know, it has a little bit less of a value. Twitter is interesting. It gives us the ability to add Google search points every time we post, so you kind of get a 1 point every time you post. No matter how many followers you have, meaning that every tweet gives us a point with Google as they calculate what comes up in organic searches. The more points, the higher you are in rankings, so tweeting is good. Retweets, which are when others share your message, is good too, obviously. Followers are helpful. That's how you get retweets, but not necessary for success. We want to use hashtags there so that other people can search what we're talking about. Twitter does give you almost a 1-to-1 ratio for those points, those Google points as we're just calling them or referencing them here. So it's a good outlet. Obviously you want followers, but if you don't have them, it's still a good place and helps your business come up in organic searches. Instagram is a resource outlet for our photos and happenings. We want to share select photos here, use hashtag descriptors. We can also use geotagging and put our location in the post so people can see where we're at, which is generally our location or store out at a community event. It's really mostly done from a mobile device, but they just recently added the ability to do it from the desktop. But doing it from your mobile device does help when you're trying to tag where you're at. And Instagram also gives you virtually a 1-to-1 ratio, so every post, like, comment has a lot of value there. YouTube is the most searchable way to get video out to the public. So if you have video content that's appropriate, make sure you post it there. You don't need to hashtag it. You can, but you're going to tag the videos there, and they have their own separate search system. So you can hashtag it and just write a comment and put tags into the video when you post it. I think that's good enough for today. If you have questions, submit them on the Gloucester Township website and we'll get you some answers. Remember, you can always schedule a one-on-one session if you feel like you need some help. See you soon.